How's it going,
So now,
Vanessa?
hi Max, how's it going?
Good, good. Oh, Grace is in here too. How's it going, Grace? Good to see you in
So
here.
we're going to get started. So Max, I'm asking you to go on mute, please.
Cool, copy.
Okay, so this is the flow of events today. I'm going to give you a welcome and introduce our speakers. And then Elena is going to do a presentation. And then we're going to do a fireside chat. Then we're going to open up to Q&A for the entire audience. And then we're going to conclude. And we have a lot of great information for you. I spoke to these speakers today. I mean, well, not today, but earlier this week and last weekend. Oh my gosh, like I learned so much just getting this ready. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and get started. Please, everyone, make sure that you're on mute and that your camera, well, yeah, and your cameras are off. Awesome. All right. Okay, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for Instagram Strategies for Small Businesses. I am your host and moderator, Vanessa Abron, and I'm the founder of Agency Abron. I'm a public relations professional with more than 15 years of experience. My experience lies mostly in securing positive media coverage for brands in national local media outlets such as NBC's Today, Now This, the Chicago Tribune, The Source, the Associated Press, and ABC News, to name a few. Prior to Agency Abron, I served as the Director of Communication for the Community Alliance and Consumer Engagement Group at Nielsen. I was the Media and Communications Manager for Johnson Publishing Company, which was the parent company for Ebony Magazine, Jet Magazine, and Fashion Fair Cosmetics. I was the account management. I was an account manager at Hill and Knowlton Strategies, a PR firm, as well as Shrewd Marketing and Promotions, which was a marketing firm for several record labels. Within these roles, I've led multicultural and global communications initiatives, public relations strategy development, event management, account management, content development, promotional visibility, media outreach, and a bunch of other things across various various verticals and various industry. Just so you can get a little bit more of an idea who I am, some of the past clients that I worked with included the Jazz Institute of Chicago, the Walgreens Expressions Challenge, Classic Hip Hop Lives, Praise Productions Incorporated, ComEd, FX Networks, Aflac, Illinois Lottery, Pringles, Adidas, Mercedes-Benz, Nike, Virgin Records, Indie Soul Journeys TV, and the list goes on and on and on. So, as a PR professional, I can't iterate enough that your social media presence does impact how potential clients and customers perceive you and your business. Some have actually admitted to viewing a business's social media platform before actually going to their website, if at all. However, these people aren't really just going to your social media platforms just to learn more about you. What they're really doing is trying to get a deeper look as to who you are on a more personal level. They're searching for that connective tissue because when they go to your website, they get the basics, who you are, what you do, what you have to offer, etc. However, when they go to your social media platforms, they're trying to see what makes you personable. And through these social media platforms, you have the opportunity to make personal connections with your audience. They can talk to you and you can talk back to them. So within the world of PR, this is important because public relations is all about how you engage and develop relationships with the public you serve, right? It's your overall public reputation. So engaging with your audience is essential in building and maintaining your brand. So people want to feel connected with the businesses and the people that they give money to. I mean, you do too, right? And social media is basically an inroads of doing this. Also, social media also allows you to tell your own story. So back in the day, initially when public relations first started, traditional media was the main way of getting across our story. So traditional media in the sense of newspapers, magazines, and later on radio and TV. These were the only mediums that existed, and back then we relied heavily on these platforms to tell our stories. And while these platforms still remain relevant, well, to an extent, they still have a purpose. We don't have to rely on them like we did before. We now have the means, thanks to the internet, to tell our own stories in our own way and reach people directly. In fact, if you pay attention, most news platforms get their news from social media. I'm pretty sure if you watch the Today Show, Good Morning America, if you're looking at anything, they're always saying on so-and-so social media page, they said blah, 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 blah. So social media is important. However, we must be careful by using these platforms. We can't just solely use these platforms to sell. There's a renowned PR professional by the name of Jay Baer. He said, if your stories are all about products and services, that's not storytelling, it's a brochure. And we don't want our platforms to look like solely a brochure. So we want to encourage you to give yourself permission to make your stories bigger. So today we're going to focus primarily on Instagram, obviously, according to the title, and we will dabble into other platforms as well. So since its debut, Instagram has become somewhat of a phenomenon in the social media space. And I believe it has something to do with the fact that it has a lot of visual stimulation. Yes, the pretty pictures coupled with the nice strung together words can have an impact. However, these words and these pictures are just part of it. You may find thousands of people who have pretty pictures and nice, cute words, but they have no real engagement and they're not seeing any impact on their businesses because they have pretty pictures, right? It takes more than just pretty pictures, and it takes more than just cute words. In addition to that being said, we are now living in a different world thanks to the coronavirus, and connecting with your audience is now more important than ever. So with all that being said, welcome again to Instagram Strategies for Small Businesses. As I said earlier, we compiled some great information for you, and I'm sure you're going to walk away with some tangible steps that you can take immediately to give your platform the oomph that it needs. Our speakers today are Elena Soboleva and Shari Neal Williams. To kick things off, Elena will take the stage first. She's from cold Siberia, raised on a farm, and now she's a social media coach and a wellness influencer. Elena is Chicago-based, and she's a social media marketing specialist, an influencer, and an entrepreneur. She moved to the U.S. 8 years ago with only $500 in her bag and an American dream, as she says. For a few years, she struggled being in another country, learning how to speak English and barely making any money. She was not only able to survive, but she used her struggle to build a strong character and personality. It took her a few years to feel a part and to get the confidence that she needs. That confidence helped her to step onto the stage and compete in bodybuilding shows and begin her career in fitness and personal training. She began to build an online personal brand that grew to over 150,000 loyal followers. I'm a follower as well. And as a wellness influencer, Elena has the chance to work with many brands all over the world, including Banana Republic, Superfresh, Quest Nutrition, Puma, and Akira. This has helped her to understand the strategies behind developing a successful online brand and develop high quality content that drives sales and brings awareness. Now, Elena is a social media coach who helps passionate influencers and entrepreneurs such as yourself to build an online business. She is the founder of eSocial Club, which is a digital marketing and branding agency for small businesses based in Chicago. And she put together a wonderful and informative presentation. So without further ado, Elena, take it away.
Well, thank you, Vanessa, for such a beautiful presentation.
No worries.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen with everyone. All right. Can we see that? Let's see, make sure that I am. Vanessa, we good? Can we see it? Hold on. Okay.
Muffy says she can see.
Okay, everyone see it. Perfect.
Yep.
Amazing. Okay. All right. So yes, as Vanessa mentioned earlier, today I'm going to be talking about Instagram and specifically marketing on Instagram in 2020. And I know, like, because right now we are going through a very different time, that's why my presentation will be more tailored to the current situation and how can we actually use Instagram and this powerful platform to build our business during this time, how we can grow our business and nourish it and help it in any possible way. So As Vanessa mentioned, oh, how do I, okay. I am a social media coach. I am a wellness influencer. This is how I started my career in social media and in business. I was a personal coach for a long time, online coach. And then I realized that social media helped me to grow my business from nothing. And I felt that is my mission to teach people do the same. And I started my company, eSocial Club, where I teach entrepreneurs and small businesses on how to grow their business by being yourself, by being authentic, by being passionate about what you do, and share that on social media and to really stand out across all your competitors. So with that, I want to really dive into everything. And one thing that I really wanted to pay attention to is, and you probably guys all noticed that lately, for a couple of weeks, we all been on social media and more and more and more. And actually, there's an interesting statistic that's 40% for the last couple of weeks, Facebook and Instagram has been increasing 40% usage during the current situation with COVID-19. It's also related to an Instagram Lives and Facebook Lives. So with that interesting statistic, this is a perfect time for you guys to actually stand out on social media. This is not a season for you to be quiet, and this is the season for you to start communicate with your customers, communicate with your potential customers, with your audience, and really build this tribe. A lot of companies, when when the economy goes through a crisis, a lot of companies are actually cutting off their budgets on marketing. But it is not a time for you to do that, and not the time for you to stop your marketing or selling, especially and stop posting on social media. This is a time for you to actually get more active on social media. So with that, I really wanted to share with you 5 guiding principles for social media marketing, specifically on Instagram. I'm sorry. And what exactly you need to focus on right now on your platform, what content you need to post, and how can you communicate with your followers during these times. The first principle, it's listen and acknowledge. How simple is that? But how a lot of brands I've seen not using that. But just being acknowledged in the current climate, it's going to be really help you to humanize your brand and make you, and the message on your social media will come out as a human, because people attract to people. In the moment you put out a face to your brand and to your customers on social media, that moment you will create those relationship and engagement way more easier. So for example, the brand Veta Capsule, they are a woman-owned business, and they made this beautiful post talking to your customers about the current situation for their brand and for their business, and how important it is that those customers are, we're acknowledging the situation. We're here for you, you're here for us. So let's get through this together. So make sure that you communicate with your customers, and don't be afraid to humanize your brand a little bit and open up, because this is a great opportunity for you to connect. The second principle of your content will be just keep posting. Yes, don't be afraid to, do not stop posting, please. I really encourage you. This is one of the things that a lot of brands are doing, like in general, and not in the current situation, where we're so concerned about what to post, so we just not posting at all for many months or weeks. And again, Instagram, it is a platform that wants you to be active. The Instagram wants you to be on a platform, and the more you are on the platform, the more you utilize every single tool that Instagram is offering you, then more algorithm will work in your favor, then more Instagram will show you to other people, and then more it's going to help you to bring more reach and engagement on your platform. So if you wonder why I don't get as much engagement on my Instagram and my account, look at how often do you post. And with that a lot of followers right now are spending more time online, and they are and it's a time for you to connect with them, and a time for you to bring more awareness to your brand. I want to give you a really interesting example of the anthropology post that created such an interesting connection with their new collection, but also with everything that's happening right now. Because now when you post something, again, put more effort and put more attention and more thoughts in your captions, because people do read captions right now. They actually not only scrolling, but they do really put in attention to what you're saying under those posts, and they really want to see your thoughts, because you're a thought leader on this platform. So for example, Anthropology said, we found your day night at home look featuring their new dress, and they have this beautiful image. So how easy and quick, in this only one sentence, they were able to create this really fun and engaging post. And obviously I would actually love this dress. I wish I could wear it right now. So definitely keep posting, keep showing up every single day. The next principle is being empathetic. And this is something that I've seen a lot of brands are struggling with. It's actually being transparent, being open, and being empathetic in a situation is so important, because that's where it's not only opportunity for you to actually create some sales. For example, one of the brand Shop Bando, they give you an extra 20% right now. So you don't have to, you can create an extra sale. You can create an extra giveaway. You can even give back to the community with donations or something, if it's related to your brand, obviously. But it's important for you to have an empathy, and also being grateful for all those people who are actually watching you right now, right, on social media. And also think about it, the people who are facing different realities. So if we, there's some brands who completely lost their business, right? There's some people who are still working. So everyone will have a different scenario. So please be mindful of that when you're doing any posts, or when you're doing any sales or giveaways or stuff like that. The next principle will be provide organic value. This one, I really want to pay attention to that even more, because this is a core of your content strategy. And not only during these times, but during any time, that providing organic value for your customers, it's what's going to help you build a real authentic brand and real engagement and connections with your followers. And right now, to be honest with you, the traffic is not as important as actually engagement on your platforms. So for example, this brand, and this is something that I personally do for my personal brand, and it works so well, is creating those little I don't know, maybe even schedules for your Instagram live. This is an opportunity for you create content, collaborate with other brands, any brands that could relate it to your company, to your brand, to your business, any influencers, or even collaborating with some of your customers, right? So this brand, for example, created a schedule of workouts that they go live almost every day with different people, with different influencers, and they give you this little tips on how to work out at home. That kind of content create a real connections with your customers, because when they see that and they know that you truly care as a brand to help your customers, to help your followers, to be better, to engage, to entertain them, that's where you create a real connections. And some other example of providing organic values is having some IGTV series. For example, if you are a food-based company, for example, right, you can create a series of different recipes on your IGTV, and it's evergreen content that's always gonna live there, right? You can repurpose that for your YouTube or for your posts. It's an opportunity for you just like reuse the same content. Also, some Instagram lives, you could create different Instagram live schedules for with different influencers, as I mentioned. Collaborating with, doing some story takeovers also could be a great opportunity. Stories live on your platform only for 24 hours, another opportunity for you to create a fast, easy, quick content that you don't need to overthink or put a lot of production money into that. And also do some Instagram live takeovers. So think about everyone who you potentially could collaborate, maybe brands that you admire, or maybe people that you admire on social media. Reach out to them and be like, hey, we have this great idea. Would you love to collaborate with us on Instagram live? So start thinking outside the box. And this is also an opportunity for you to bring more attention to your account from other accounts as well. The last principle is ask for help. This is something, as I mentioned earlier, it's something that not a lot of brands or companies are doing, and it is hard to be vulnerable. Sometimes as a brand, we run a business, right? We are so serious sometimes, but being really open with your community if you do need their help, because they're there to help you. There's so many people right now coming together to inspire each other, to help each other, support each other as much as they can. So just saying that, hey, we need your help, or we're here for you, or we love you, thank you. Being grateful and really truly appreciate people who are there for you right now. Every single customer that you have, give them this shout out, give them this maybe extra, maybe give them a gift card, or maybe something that you can't do as a brand, do it. For example, this brand, Hey Kokomo, they are offering gift cards for purchase, and $5 from that gift cards go into a donation. So they're giving back as much as they can, and that's why other people would love to support that and would love to purchase those gift cards from them, because they know that they're giving back too. And remember, we're all in this together, so we're all supporting each other. So those were like 5 principles of the content that you can share on your platforms. But I want to get a little bit more specific and get into more nitty-gritty of exactly the type of content that you can share on your social media, on your Instagram, based on the current situation of your business. So this is going to relate it to your, no matter if you're physical business, if you're a service business, there's a different scenarios that's happening right now. And first one, if it's your business is still open, but you are still hustling to get those clients in. The second scenario, if your business completely closed and you do not have any traffic right now. And the last scenario, if your business operates as normal, as usual, not quite usual, but it's still running. So let's break down every single scenario with the specific contents and some actions that you can do right now on your platform. So let's pretend that your business are open, but you're still hustling to get those clients in. You don't know how to bring more attention to your platform. The first thing that I highly recommend you to do is to show up on your Instagram stories every single day. Instagram stories is one of the things that actually start growing and booming for the last year, even more than actual feed of your Instagram, because it's a quick content that people consume very easily every single day. It's engaging, it's fun. People love to tap and scroll through stories and see what's happening. And also it's an amazing opportunity for you to actually show the behind the scene of your company. It's an opportunity for you to show what's happening. How do you work? How do you operate right now? What products are you selling or using, right? Or that's an opportunity for you to repost and highlight your customers if they tagged you. You can also create, for example, a tagging post, a tagging stories where you encourage people to tag you or reshare it for you. In Instagram stories, you can create custom Instagram story games, for example, that people can reshare and bring more engagement to your brand. Another way for you, what you can do right now is using more videos, because videos is such a quick tool for you to bring more valuable information in a very easy digestible way. That's where your stories comes out, right? Stories, it's videos, but it's also posts, like it could be a static post as well. But your IGTV, your Instagram live, or just the videos on your feed will help you not only to not only to bring more this valuable content, but also as it helps you with your algorithm of Instagram. The way it works, the more people spending more time on your feed or on specific posts, then better it is for your algorithm, and there are more eyes. Instagram will the Instagram will show you in front of more eyes because people spend more time on your feed. And when you show videos are usually up to 1 minute on your feed, and up to, I believe, an hour on your there's different varieties on Instagram. I'm sorry, on IGTV. IGTV could give you 15 minutes if you are up to 10,000 followers. Everything that's over 10,000 followers, you can post a 60-minute video on IGTV. So again, the more people watch your videos, the more they engage, the more they stay on your platform, the more engagement they're going to bring to your feed, to your account. The next one is encourage your loyal followers and customers to share about your business on social media. This is where I kind of mentioned earlier from Instagram stories, is where you can create those custom branded posts and ask people, hey, tag us in your pet photos, or don't forget to tag us when you get this and that. So for example, if you're a coffee shop, that's an amazing tool for you. If you can actually put it in your coffee shop, because people still walk into your place to grab that coffee, and put a little note saying like, hey, tag us on Instagram and share it with your followers, right? And it's such a great way, again, for people. It's easy for people to give back just by sharing that. It makes them feel good and it helps your business. So another one is do not stop try to sell. You have to keep selling, because this is the way for you to keep your business running. But use more, like I showed you earlier with an example of anthropology post, use more engaging content, right? Educate your customers, educate your community, ask for help and ask for support if you need to. That's put a little bit more effort into your captions. And then the last one, this tip will be related to people who has a physical product businesses. If you sell something online, if you have an online store, online shop, that tip is for you, and it's connect your online store to Instagram shopping. And I wanted to get a little deeper into that. So if you see on the right side, you see it's a shoppable post. The way you set it up, it's pretty simple. So again, you need to have obviously an updated Instagram app. You need to convert your Instagram into a business profile, and also connect. You have to be an admin on your page, or your business manager account on your on your Facebook business page. Make sure that you have a Facebook business page connected to your Instagram account. And then you need to create a product catalog associated with a shop on Facebook. So on your Facebook business page, you would create a catalog of products that you wanted to sell on Instagram, because they're going to be linked together. And then obviously you can only sell products that are allowed by the policies of Facebook and Instagram. So, and the way it looked, it's so easy for people to shop. And again, this is only related to people who sell in physical products. So on your post on your Instagram, for example, you can tag specific items that you're selling. They're gonna open in a separate window of Instagram, and that's where you directly send them to your website, and they can click and buy and purchase. So easy, and those easy steps not only make your customer journey easier, but it's also drives so much more traffic to your website. So take a look at that. And again, it's such a great thing to do for your business. Let's move on to the next scenario. Imagine if your business is completely closed for a moment and temporary. So what can you do right now? Again, going back to educational videos, it is an opportunity for you to create more content for your customers, right? Utilize this IGTV, create those maybe some challenges on your page, anything that's going to bring more attention to your page through video content. Also, run an Instagram audit. I know since you have a little bit more time on your hand, this is a time for you to really look at your brand, look at your Instagram page, and see if it's actually like if it's actually working, right? Maybe you need to update your highlight covers, maybe completely update your highlights, or maybe create them if you never did before. Also, take a look at your bio. Does it represent your brand, right? Does your bio clearly says who you are and what you do? Also, look at your aesthetics of your Instagram page. That's an opportunity for you to also take some time and really put more attention into your branding, because you need to stand out on social media. And the one way to do it is to keep being authentic to your brand and to your visuals, because Instagram is a visual platform. So making sure, maybe go through all the pages, go through Instagram, and maybe archive some old photos that doesn't really relevant to your brand anymore, right? So just look at it and see what you can improve and what can you physically do better for your Instagram page. Another idea for you is to launch your TikTok. I know some of you would be like, TikTok, no thank you. But TikTok, it is such an amazing platform that's growing so fast. And then it's not only the platform growing so fast, and it has so much a more organic reach compared to the Instagram right now. So Instagram been around for many years, and that's why organic reach on Instagram is way lower than any other new platforms. What that means is, for you to get a real more organic reach on your Instagram page, you need to run ads. Got to be honest with you, at some point you would have to start running ads in order for you to bring more engagement to your page, compared to TikTok, where you actually can create. I personally tested out, because I'm testing TikTok for my personal brand right now, and I did 2 videos and they went viral. I got 20,000 followers on my TikTok. That took me, those 20,000 followers on my Instagram took me a year to get. So think about that. And you can also create you can be so creative with TikTok, and you can link TikTok to your Instagram. You can also have TikTok, you can put link to your shop or your business in TikTok as well. And that way also create more engagement on your business. So think about TikTok. If you guys have a question about TikTok, I'm happy to help you. I'm doing some tutorials on TikTok, how to use it for your business. So, and the next tip for you is also use Pinterest account. And just an idea for you, just explore other platforms. So why I personally love Pinterest for, Pinterest, it's a search engine. And it's not like, actually I've seen there's a lot of women on Pinterest. So if your audience is woman, definitely be on Pinterest. However, I do actually see a lot of men who are using Pinterest right now too. But what it does is you can directly link any product. You can create products and pin them directly to your Instagram on Pinterest. You can directly from Pinterest link products to your website, and that way you're going to drive traffic there. So something to think about it. Also explore this platform. It's a great opportunity for you. Pinterest, you can also use, if you have a service-based business or a physical product business, you can use Pinterest for that. And then the last one is create healthy habits. And what I mean by that is I know as a business owners, it is hard sometimes to put time into actually, if you can't afford to hire a social media manager who will do everything for you, this is an opportunity for you to take some time and actually plan your content and learn how to plan and schedule your content. I'm going to give you a few platforms that I highly recommend. They're free to use, and it's a great tool for you to actually schedule and plan your content for your social media. It's Trello, Later, and the Creator Studio. Great platforms. Go on them, take a look at them. You can schedule directly content to them ahead of time, or you can actually Later in Creator Studio will directly post for you, so you don't need to even do anything. And it also some actually example of the highlights, IG highlights. You see, like try to change up aesthetics of your Instagram page if it's necessarily. And moving on to the last scenario is, if your business is running, usually didn't much change for you, but it did change, but not much. So again, an opportunity for you to invest in growing your business. Again, like I mentioned earlier, start exploring new social media channels or run influencer campaign. This one is a big one. If your brand and if your business can use influencers, any physical product brands, any service brands, you can use influencers. And right now, the statistics showing that 48% of influencers are reducing their rates for sponsored content. And I personally, I'm a wellness influencer. I am actually struggling in this specific category for my business because I do work with brand and sponsor for sponsored content. A lot of bigger brands are cutting off their influencer marketing, and they invest in more money into the Facebook advertising. So for you as a small business owner, this is an opportunity to work with influencers with a bigger audience for a fraction of what they usually would charge you. And again, influencer marketing is a tricky one where you really need to know your audience, first of all. Who is your audience and who's your ideal customers? Because based on that, that's how you're going to find those right influencers with the right audience who are going to suit you. So it's not only based on the numbers, how much numbers people have on their social, on the Instagram, it's actually what audience do they have and are they related to your brand or not? So that's with that, again, maximize your marketing spend on social media, to be honest with you, with Facebook ads, Facebook or Instagram ads or influencer campaigns. And then the last one is the video consumption. It's actually increasing among all the social platforms. So if your business have an opportunity, if you have an opportunity to invest in video production, do it. But if not, invest your time in creating more video content by just using your phone, to be honest with you. And it's so easy. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube, how to create videos using your phone. You can create beautiful images. There's a lot of different apps that you can use to make videos and make them look so professional and not even like without hiring a huge production company. So those were my 3 different scenarios for your business. And remind you, we're all in this together. It's all going to be over soon. I encourage you to stay really, really positive about that. And I also wanted to, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a social media coach, and currently with this current situation, I am offering $50 for social media audit and Instagram strategies. I can give you a little bit more details about that later on if you're interested. And yeah, my part is done. So let me see how I can.
Thank you, Elena. That was a lot of good information. Honestly, you guys, before I work in PR and I help advise clients as well. And I learned a lot from Elena's presentation. I might take you up on that $50 offer too, Elena.
Okay.
All right. So as I said, this was wonderful information. And I know I certainly learned a lot, as you guys did as well. Should I turn my video back on? I should probably turn my video back on. Hold on, guys. Here I am. So before we go into our fireside chat, I saw that we had a couple of questions, and I'm definitely going to incorporate those questions into the fireside chat. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sharing your questions. But before we do that, I want to introduce to you guys our second speaker, Shari Neal-Williams. Shari is a seasoned senior level social media strategist and content creator with client-side agency and consulting experience. Her background includes marketing and advertising for international brands, small businesses, and nonprofits. Throughout her career, Shari created social media strategy, copy, graphics, and content calendars. And she also has experience developing company logos, blogs, web graphics, banner ads, microsite, and a whole list of like any sort of like digital collateral, marketing collateral. Like Shari's probably done it. Some of her past clients include, but aren't limited to, The Girl and I, which is a STEAM-based summer camp and after-school program for girls. Susan G. Komen, the Commerce Children's Hospital, Toyota, the blog ClutchMagOnline.com, the University of Chicago, and the University of Missouri in Columbia, to name a few. Shari is also the founder of Bon Bon V, an online t-shirt and apparel line which has garnered press, fans, and customers across the globe, including actresses such as Sandy Newton, Issa Rae, and Yara Shahidi. So, Shari, before we jump into the fireside chat, do you have anything that you would like to share with the folks?
Sure. Just a few things. I also want to say, great job, Elena. You pretty much said everything I would have said and then some. So great job. But I just wanted to add a few things. Elena touched on this a bit, but definitely if you're a small business, now is the time to be reaching out to your followers and customers, user-generated content. It's like a gold mine right now because everyone is at home. So any opportunity you have to ask them to send pictures of them using your products, wearing your products, now is the time because they'll do it. I've been doing it and I never do that. So you should definitely capitalize on that. I think also what's weird about this pandemic is that social media has just been a strange source of comfort for me. I've been social media out. I've worked in social media, before this all happened, I'd come home and not even really want to look at it. But now it's it's comforting. All the DJs doing concerts. I'm sure some of y'all went to Club Quarantine with D Nice. All of my favorite artists doing concerts. And just on that celebrity piece, I think now is a great time to maybe try to create content to catch the eye of people who normally wouldn't pay attention, or reach out to people you normally wouldn't be able to reach. Back when I was running my t-shirt business full time, I got a lot of content from celebrities just by reaching out to them. And that's how I got Issa Rae to wear my shirt and Sandy Newton to wear my shirt. And that was amazing because she actually wore my shirt, did a professional photo shoot, and then it got reshared by Ebony magazine. But I think being in this situation, we're all stuck at home, it reminds me of that time, the early days of Instagram, where you could actually reach people and people were actually paying attention to you. So I do think it's more important than ever, like Elena said, to not stop posting. You need to keep putting your content out there and you need to be seen. And one last thing I want to add is also Instagram is one piece of the puzzle, as Elena mentioned. TikTok, Pinterest, there's so many other platforms you should be on. Another one I want to add is definitely LinkedIn. It's a great place to network. I've done a bunch of cool stuff on LinkedIn recently. I've met strategists and creative directors and all types of people who have been offering 20, 30 minutes of their time just to talk about anything, ask me anything or teach me something. So I've met a lot of cool people this past month just by doing that. And I think the last thing I wanted to say, oh yes. Now is the time also to just kind of work on your larger marketing funnel. I think something that can often be overlooked is email marketing. But right now I've noticed I'm receiving less emails and the emails I do get, I'm actually opening them and reading them. So this could also be a time to just put that messaging out there to people on Instagram, hey, sign up for my mailing list, just to stay up to date on what we're doing, updates on how we're doing during this pandemic, specials we're offering. And just basically during this time, do your best to stay on top of everyone's mind.
Thank you. So it's question time. Okay, so I have a few questions that I developed for you guys, and then I see a few questions coming in through the chat. So the first question that I have for both of you is, from your experience, what are some struggles you've seen with small business owners in managing their Instagram and other social media platforms? Please share your perspective both before the coronavirus pandemic and now during the coronavirus pandemic. Should I repeat that? I know I kind of stumbled on my words.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It kind of went out a bit. Can you repeat the question one more time?
Absolutely. Okay. From your experience, what are some struggles you've seen with small business owners in managing their Instagram and other social media platforms. Please share your perspective before the coronavirus pandemic and now.
You know, it's interesting. I think some of the issues are still the same. I'd say before and after clients I've had definitely is what kind of content to post. And I think that goes back to if you're not sure what you should be posting, whether it was pre-pandemic or now, you probably should work on your strategy to really figure out what your brand stands for. But additionally, I'd say before was just lack of time. Everyone I knew with the Instagram account or other social accounts they were trying to run, it was just, I need you to do this. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Now that everyone has time and everyone is on social media, I think the big thing now is just standing out from what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Shari. Actually, lack of time, right? With time is something that I mentioned earlier in my presentation is that's where your tools comes out, right? When you can schedule something ahead of time. But also a lot of business owners, they are overthinking their content in a way of perfectionism. So some people are think like, oh my God, I need to have this perfectly, everything has to be so perfect. And that way they not, they don't post because they don't think that they have enough a good looking content. But again, there is a basics that you need to understand as far as visuals, obviously having the lighter, brighter photos, using some tools like editing, photo editing apps that can help you, and same thing with video editing apps as well to gonna make your content looks better. So you don't need to have a huge production to have a good content, a quality content. But also actually a lot of what my clients are struggling with is they don't see enough engagement sometimes on their feed, and they worried like, why do I don't see engagement? Why nobody likes my photos? But that's, again, it comes down to your one is your strategy. As Shari mentioned, you do need to have your overall strategy of your social media content, and also being engaging on your platform as well. So putting some effort into responding to the comments and being active on the platform. But yeah, I don't think much change before. Now people have a little bit more time to do that. So yeah.
Awesome. Second question, how can businesses add value to clients and customers using their platforms? Elena, I know you touched on this a little bit, but maybe you guys can give some examples of clients that you work with and how they've added value, or perhaps you've added value on your own.
Yeah. So obviously it's a value, right? Providing more organic value for your customers. And it comes down to one, knowing who is your customers. If you know them, what are they struggling with? What are they always asking you? So based on that, this is an opportunity to create a content around the pain points, right? For example, some of my clients are in real estate, and especially right now, there's a lot of people are asking questions. So how do I rent? How do I buy? How do I, what do I do with my property? So here, people asking you, your customers asking you questions that you need to give them an information for, right? So obviously, providing those answers. I love to do a Q&As kind of posts and give them give them more information about stuff they're asking. Also, any tools, tips, tricks, inspiration, motivation, entertaining, any kind of content that will make your customers, first of all, grab their attention, but also reshare it. Think about it. Before you're posting something, would you reshare it and show it to your friend? Or would you post it and show it to your, loved one, or your mom, or your grandma? So always think about that. If it's a reshareable content that's worth showing, post it. So,
Shari?
Yeah, Elena touched on this earlier, but it's just the time, if you're in a service-based business where you can't really get to your customers, now is the time for education. One of my clients works in diversity and inclusion, and so we've kind of altered her strategy just to be a lot about educating people about what diversity and inclusion issues are popping up due to the pandemic. Like, there's a lot of inequality right now, just, you know, because people work from home. Like, you have parents who are on Zoom calls all day, who still have to care for their children and then be a grade school teacher. Or, you know, one I thought of today is like, you know, as a Black woman, what do I do with my hair when it starts looking crazy? And, you know, what happens when my coworkers start wondering why I stopped turning my camera off? So we've done a lot of work just about, you know, that sort of stuff. D&I definitions people may not know about, pronouns for people who may be trans. So that's what we're kind of doing to help her bide the time while she can't really do her normal workshops.
So before I jump into one of my pre-made questions, someone had asked, how often should we be posting on Instagram? What is the frequency? Elena, I know you said we should be on Instagram stories every day, but what about the static post?
Well, there's actually a statistic just recently released that static posts, people don't spend as much time on a static post on the feed anymore. So I recommend for you to post. I personally, because I have to do that, I post on my Instagram every single day. However, at least 4 posts a week, that should be your baseline. So 4 posts a week, plus stories every single day. And again, the more, I encourage you, if you can, to be more active on a platform, because the more you're active on a platform, that's just how the algorithm of Instagram would work. That will help you to boost more your account and expose it to other accounts too. So I would recommend you to start with a 4 posts a week. That's your best baseline, and then as more often to do stories as possible, and also have utilized an IGTV and an IG live.
Shari, do you have any additions to that?
Yeah, I agree with every bit of that. And if like 4 posts a week seems too intimidating, I often tell clients, like, you can ramp up. Start with 1 if, you know, 4 is too much. But I definitely think you should be posting almost every day, and definitely every day for stories.
How can companies make more personable connections on social media, not just on Instagram, but in general? Like I said it earlier that from a public relations standpoint, we need to be making connections. You guys said it. What are some strategies of how to reach out to people to develop these personable connections? Is it sliding in the DM, or is it just commenting on a post? What do you recommend?
How I personally actually do that, and it works pretty well. Instead of just jumping right away on a person in their DMs and aggressively trying to like get something out of them, you do need to create a real connections with real people, right? So instead of yes, you need to like their content. Yes, you need to comment, but during a certain amount of time. So you do need to really create this relationship first before asking them to collaborate or do something with them. So definitely start doing that. And again, make sure that the people who are you creating if you're looking at in a business relationship, right, collaborations, or maybe if it's another business that you're trying to get on board and have like collaboration with a brand, make sure they have a relevant audience to who are you seeking and looking for, but also to create connections with your customers, being transparent. Talk to I love when brands are showing the behind the scene. They introduced in their team, they introduce in the people who standing behind the brand. They're asking questions, they using those Instagram polls and always asking questions and see, hey, what do you like, this or that. So those engaging little tricks that brands are doing are so great to create a real connections. And also I love when brands are going lives, and I mentioned that many times, when they're actually going live and bringing their customers to their journey, to their platforms, and highlighting customers or sharing their stories. That's where you can create mini campaigns around it. For example, if Mother's Days are coming, right, bring in your the customers' mothers and highlight them. So those are little opportunities that I think would be definitely work for your business.
Shari.
Shari.
Yeah, I agree with all of that, and definitely just be authentic. And I guess an example I can use, everyone's making masks right now. So it's like, who should I buy from? For me, like the type of content that would help me decide is like, if I see you doing a live of behind the scenes, you in the sewing room, showing how you make the masks, like educating me on why you chose this style. Does your mask have a filter pocket? Just kind of educating everyone on why your mask may be better, why I should buy from you. Another thing is just never lead with the sale. Like, offer value before you try to get something from anyone. Like, there was a book by Gary Vee I read a few years ago, Jab, Jab, Right Hook. So basically, I think the problem a lot of people, the mistake a lot of people make is they're like, here, buy this thing I made, here, pay for this service I have, but it's like, no one wants that. Like, offer them something they can use, offer something of value. And then after you jab twice, then you can do the right hook of whatever your sales pitch is.
I'm going to interject too. I definitely develop relationships on social media. I would say, even though this isn't about LinkedIn, I would say LinkedIn is probably a great way for people to connect authentically. As Shari mentioned earlier, people are more inclined to give you 25 minutes. I've seen a lot of people ask questions like, ask me anything that you want to. Hit me in my DM if you want to. So that's a great way. I've actually met one of my really good friends who's actually spoken on a panel of mine. I met her on LinkedIn, and how I met her, I just happened to see her profile. And I just thought she seemed cool. Like, her profile seemed really cool. And I just sent her a message like, hey, you seem really cool and we should be friends. And I mean, I don't do that to everyone. It was just, that was the connection I felt with her. And we became friends. Another thing that I do is when I do follow brands or other people and things of that nature, and I look at their stories, I comment on their stories. Like, if they have a celebration, I give the celebratory thing, or I'm like, yes, or yay, like, I let them know that I'm engaged with who they are and what they're doing, to create that. So hopefully that's helpful to someone out there. Ladies, what tips, tricks, and hacks can you share as entrepreneurs develop content to drive organic followers?
So some of my tricks, first of all, to even create the content, and to, like, I, for example, use, I always have notifications in the industry that I'm interested in, notifications on my Google. And anytime that any news come out from Google for that, I always making sure that I'm up to date with the news or with the industry. Also, Facebook groups, the great way for you to find ideas for content, or for you can just join the groups based on your industry and based on your clients and customers, and just see what people are asking, see what people are talking about. You'll be so surprised how people are engaged in those Facebook communities and Facebook groups, and also an opportunity for you to connect with those people too. So being on every platform, that's totally, like, highly recommend you. So what else are the tips? Obviously, scheduling your content, collaborating with other brands and influencers. Yeah, what was the question again?
tips, tricks, and hacks.
Tips, tricks, and hacks. Yeah. Yeah, actually, like Shari said earlier, user-generated content, so important. Where and it's especially if you're a brand, when you reposting or giving a highlight to someone who created a post with your product. People love that. People love in this not oh my god, I forgot the words. When you notice how great of a job your customer did with this photo, and then you repost it, it just creates this real connections again. Yeah, so those are my little tips, I guess.
Shari, Any tips, tricks, or hacks?
Yeah, I mean, we've gone through a lot of these already, but just definitely use video if you are not there yet. I know a lot of people are afraid of video because they don't want to see or hear themselves, but I think video in this time we're living in is so important to be relatable and have people see your face and know who you are. And with that being said, you know, if you are doing video, you can repurpose it on many different platforms. Like I think YouTube is another one. I'm not sure if we've talked about yet, but YouTube has like been getting me through this pandemic as well. Like
Me too.
I learned how to do so many things and it's just been such a useful resource. Also, I just also want to point this out, like the Don't Rush challenge is kind of getting to me. The challenges and stuff are cute, but if you're gonna do these pandemic stuck in the house challenges, you need to get on them early and in the beginning, maybe the first few days, because like I'm starting to see backlash online from people who are like, you didn't do the challenge already, you're late. Okay, I've seen this, I've seen 25 iterations of this, please stop. So
I missed the pillow challenge.
what was the pillow challenge?
You see, then they put in the pillow with like a dress. I mean, I did my own incorporation of the like a fashion at home challenge with a blanket, but they doing it like people are doing challenge with pillow, which is crazy.
I mean, everyone's still hitting the switch though. I've seen 1,000 hitting the switch videos.
Hitting the switch? Oh,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's from TikTok. That came from TikTok.
Yeah, it did. And now it's like on Instagram. It's a thing.
Yeah. So TikTok actually started trends. That's how it started.
It is.
A lot of trends starts there.
But yeah, so if you're gonna do the challenges, get on it early. Do not.
Well, with that being said, Takara asked, how many videos do you suggest creating when looking for a content mix?
I think it's really depends. So it's obviously doesn't have to be every single post is your video, but the good mix of your posts, your static post, videos, IGTV, whatever you can create it, right? So there is no perfect number for videos, but if you can post at least one video a week, that's a big win.
And can you share the apps to edit videos and make them look more professional from Jet?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, some of my favorite apps that you can use. It's one of them for the videos and for story videos, creating like a short pieces of content is InShot. I don't know if I can maybe I can type it in the group chat so people can see it, but it's InShot. That's an easy tool for editing videos. It's the best thing ever, to be honest with you. Mojo is the app for using like a short animated videos. You can use it for longer videos, but also for shorter, like a story type. Similar app will be InStory. If you edit in photos, for example, and IG stories, Over is my favorite, and Canva.
Okay.
So those are the tools I personally use every single day. It gives you so many templates to use. So you don't need to be a graphic designer to have a beautiful branded images or videos for your page.
I'm such a Canva lover too. I use Canva almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
Shari, do you have any apps or anything that you use?
No, I mean, basically all of the above. And let me see, there's a few on my phone.
And Elena, what you can do is you can send them to me. And when I can send a thank you email to everyone with any links and things like that to everyone.
Do that.
Okay, now that I am looking for my apps, I cannot find them and I can't remember the name. So I will send that to you as well. But
Okay.
I wanted to add an extra shout out for Canva. I'm a longtime Canva user. I'm an OG graphic designer, so I've been used to Photoshop and Illustrator, but Canva has gotten so advanced, like I don't even need to open up like my tools anymore. I'm like, oh, Like they
I feel,
oh, go ahead.
and I was gonna say, I feel like I'm a graphic designer by using Canva these days. I use it so much. I'm like, like Canva makes you feel like you're a graphic designer.
Yeah.
It's good. And they have like changed the game with the remove background feature they add.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm hot stuff. Okay, we got tons of questions, so I'm gonna get into that. Jet asks, what advice can you give to someone who started a business? And guys, now that you know we're into it, you feel free to show your faces. Still stay on mute, but feel free to show your faces now. Or you can keep using the comment box. Either way. Jet asks, what advice can you give someone who started a business this year, right before the pandemic, during the pandemic, which is an event planning designing business, and how to utilize social media to build content with events being on pause, but who is serving clients virtually? Can I take a stab at this before you guys jump in? So my advice from a PR standpoint, if you've done events before, I think now is the time to showcase what you've done, your expertise, perhaps show, I was asked maybe some of my past clients if they can do some video testimonies of how great they've worked with me. Perhaps I would maybe even do, as Elena mentioned before, I would maybe do like Instagram. When you go on Instagram Live, you can do 2 at a time where you interview each other. So maybe do that to do some engaging content, so it can showcase that you're not a novice at this, you're good at this, and people are being more personable with you. That's my 2 cents.
I just want to add that event planning has not stopped. I've seen a lot of businesses pivot to kind of cater to people at home. We've taken advantage in my house of a few services, like for Easter, we had a meal catered from this restaurant in Chicago called Beatrix. And they did something really cute, is they had an Easter egg decorating kit. So it's like if you have children or if you just wanted to do something fun and different, they had a pack of sugar cookies. They had all of the piping instruments you need and all of the frosting. And I thought that was like the cutest thing. And I have a few friends who do cake decorating. My cake decorating catering friends have been so busy. And they've been putting packages together where it's like, here's a tablecloth, here's place settings. So I think something you can do if you run that type of service business is just let people know that you're still around, you can still help. Just because you're stuck in the house doesn't mean that you can't celebrate.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's and then again, putting out that's especially if you're new, that's an opportunity to create more content around your business, all those tools and tips and tricks and videos. Create that for your business. So, and really build the foundation as far as like, even if you're talking about Instagram, like visual foundation, play around with different graphics and videos, and also tap into a different what I would do, I would actually get into the like same thing like Q&As. Vanessa told that Q&As with other influencers to go on their platform, with other brands or companies, get on their platforms and just bring more attention to your business.
Cynthia wrote in, she says, for my business account, she gets less views on her story feeds than she does on her posts. Do you think that I should focus on the feed posts, with that being said?
That's actually a good question. Well, with Instagram, what you can do and try to do for Instagram stories, I don't know if you do it now, but use hashtags in your story. Using hashtags will be a little bit different than using them on the Instagram feed, because on Instagram story, you only can use up to 13 hashtags, and they should be pretty general. So if you, for example, it's a fitness related, right? So you're gonna be more into the hashtags will be fitness, wellness, health, really general big hashtags that normally you wouldn't actually use on your feed right now, because hashtags for feed is completely different story. So use that, use the location tag on your stories. Also, if you need to tag someone in your stories, make sure you tag them as well. But actually someone down below said that they repost story on their feed, which is a really great idea too. If you get a lot of likes on your feed, always in your post mention, hey, check out our stories for more behind the scene or whatever related to that Instagram stories. So utilize that attention on your post, on your feed, to drive people back to your stories.
Okay, next question is for me. What are the recommendations that you give businesses in maintaining their social media presence after the pandemic?
Can you, I'm sorry, I was reading a question there. Can you repeat it again, Vanessa? I'm sorry, completely,
okay.
like I can't multitask.
Well, do you want to read the question? You want to go for the question that you're reading?
Now I lost it. Go ahead.
Okay. What recommendations do you have for businesses to maintain their social media presence after the pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Because there will be an after, guys.
There will be after. I mean, it's like, for example, like again, and I actually talked about it a little bit in the presentation of getting into a habit of scheduling your posts, scheduling your content, at least planning your content ahead of time, right? So maybe if you can plan at least 4 posts a week and schedule them through the platforms, it will make your life so much easier. So scheduling, planning ahead of time, and look in the bigger picture of overall your strategy for your business and social media in general. So yeah, I think it will pretty much stay the same after. It's not going to change crazy much after the pandemic when we go back to reality, because you need to get at least the foundation in place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just want to add, that's why it's even more important that you don't disappear during the pandemic, because there's going to be an after. And, you know, it's just extremely helpful if you have maintained your presence this whole time versus disappearing and then just popping back up after. And with that being said, you can also just focus on content when it looks like we may be on our way out of this, to help kind of ease your followers back into normal life after the pandemic, whatever that looks like.
So in your opinion, has the coronavirus pandemic forever changed how we use social media forever? And please give details on why you feel that way.
I think definitely now more people understand how important social media is and how important it is to be, how much opportunities there on these platforms for you personally, for you and for your business. And I think a lot of more people finally start to understand that now, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm like,
yeah, I don't think any social media manager will ever have to justify what their job is again or why it's important.
Why it's important.
I don't believe you ever had to justify your job, Shari. I'm being facetious. So we have a question in the chat box, and this might be the question that you were looking for. Do you have any advice on pursuing a new business during this time, and how to show potential clients your services are worth the investment? I guess that came right on time. Yes. I'm not sure if this is I will be honest, Takara, I'm not sure if this is talk to me. If you guys don't have anything, I would talk to me later, Takara, but I'm gonna read the question again. If you guys want to answer it, you can feel free to, but it's not social media directly. This is a more business question, but the question again is, any advice on pursuing new business during this time, and how to show potential clients your services are worth the investment? I'm gonna rephrase that. Is there any way to do this on Instagram or online?
Mm-hmm. So as far as pursuing new business, I'm a huge believer that you can build business around your passions, your expertise. I personally did it twice with 2 different businesses, one in fitness and one in social media. So, and now actually, like I can give some advices on creating business around passion or expertise. So this is where, and now in the industries of online education is huge, and it's going to be even bigger. So if you're looking at getting into a new online business, for example, and if you know anything about anything, one thing that you're so good at, or you're knowledgeable, or you're passionate about, create some education around it and brand around it. So that's why this is something that I do for a lot of entrepreneurs, is how can you build business, and it's going to be just an educational products, any digital products, courses, webinars and stuff like that. So again, anything you can build, anything around your knowledge and expertise.
Yeah, now is definitely time. Just educate, keep putting yourself out there. And an additional one I'll add is just nurture your warm leads, people you've had in the past as customers, people you know that are interested in your services, and not necessarily trying to sell them anything, just reach out like, hey, how are you doing? I know it's rough out here for everyone. I just wanted to see how you're doing during the pandemic, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, you don't have to make it about a sale, just make it personal, and just let them know that you're thinking about them and you're there if they need you.
The next question, I have a comment for that one too. I would say too, I think Elena said it earlier in her presentation as well, and I'm just reiterating it. I remember when I first started my business, I was not getting business when I was acting like I had all the business. Everyone was like, "Oh, Vanessa, how's your business?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's great," and it wasn't, and it wasn't working for me. So I decided I need to be open and honest and say, when people ask like, "How's business?" I didn't say it was horrible, but I said, actually, I'm looking for clients right now. So if you have any, please send them my way. So please be vocal and say, I have the bandwidth for more clients. I have the bandwidth for more customers. Because sometimes people just don't bother you when they think that you are at capacity. So let people know that you're not at capacity. You don't have to say I'm struggling. If you want to say that, I feel like there's no, everyone's struggling right now. So I don't think no one would, be mad at you for saying that. But just say, I need clients. Like I need clients. I need customers.
I've been making it rain on all my small business friends. I'm like, you got something I need? Okay, I'll give you some money.
Someone asked a really, really good question. I forgot who said it. Shanita, I think it is. Do you recommend, this is a really good question. Do you recommend transitioning your personal page to a business page, since there are more followers on your personal page than on a new business page?
Well, I could go both two ways around it. And like, first one, if your personal page has just your mom, dad, and all your friends, and it's not truly your customers, it doesn't really make a difference. If you're starting a complete new brand new account for your business, even if it doesn't have as many followers, but the moment you start building it, you're gonna have a real potential customers and audience that you want to attract, and those customers and those followers will be more engaging. That's going to be way more valuable than actually just have a number. So yeah, if your personal page has people who could be a potential customer for your business, you can totally do that. Obviously, making sure that all the posts are related to your business and it doesn't have your cat or your your grandma on it doesn't really relate to your brand. So, but this is how I would look at it. So making sure, like, if that's valuable audience for you, do that.
I would also say one thing that I've noticed that was very useful for me. I don't do it all the time, but every so often I will go on my personal page and I'll say, go follow my business page at blah, 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 blah. And that encourages the people on your personal page to go follow you on your business page. So I wouldn't say do it every day. Maybe you should do it every day. I don't know. Like, you have to test it out because everyone's different. But every so often, just say, oh, if you're not following my business page, go follow my business page. Let's see. We have some more questions here. Oh, we don't. Okay. So, any more questions, guys? It's 7:32. We got 30 minutes left. Feel free to raise your hand. Some of you guys in the chat talked about how you guys had tips and tricks. So feel free to come off mute and introduce yourself and let us know what you noticed that worked for you.
Hello.
Hi, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I am, my name is Dinah, but I go by Muffy Skates, which is my skate brand. And I want to tell you all about a tip that I learned from an Instagram professional herself. I was at the National Urban League conference this past summer. This past summer. And she talked about stealth hashtagging in the stories. So basically on your Instagram stories, you can create a hashtag and make that hashtag the same color as any part of the background so people don't see it. So if you want to have 30 hashtags in your story, you don't have to have everyone see it. Just make it the same color as the background. So people actually cannot see it, but it will actually increase the engagement. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not.
You guys want me to show you how to do it?
Sure.
Can I show it here?
Yes.
Okay. Because I love it. I like.
Well, I guess if we all get our phones out, if we can.
Get all your phones,
All right.
and
I have
now.
my phone.
So, and then take any picture or anything that you wanted to post on your Instagram story. Okay. Now let's use the hashtag tool. You can just type it right here at hashtag and IG tutorial, any hashtags that you want. You can actually like just in a line. I'm going to have a few different ones. All right. And now what you can do, so now when you hold at the color tab, you hold it and then it's open this color palette at the bottom. And if you're gonna raise it all the way up, it's gonna start matching any colors on your feed. And then you can match with the color and then you can, whoop. Well, now this is not the best picture, but
it's a beautiful picture. You should post
or
that.
use like the black corner. Like you ever use like a corner of the picture out the way. That way, I would use like the black color of your picture and put it up in there.
Yeah,
and
you
make
can.
it really small.
Well, it depends on the image, right? If this is a darker one, now you can't see it.
Right.
Did you? Yeah. So this is that's a great tool actually. So great because you can also hide it behind the GIFs. For example, I'm not personally like to do that much. I actually love this way of just coloring it the same way, but you can also hide it behind the GIF. Yeah, that's a great tool.
Thank you, Elena.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Graham said ingenious. Everyone's saying, oh my gosh, I love this. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks. Any more questions? Any more tips, tricks? Lawrence, I hear you. I see people's mouths moving. Lawrence, did you have something? Takara?
Yes, hi. I'm Takara, everybody. I was like, when you said 7:30, I was like, I'm in the East Coast, so I just moved from Chicago, so I'm adjusting. But I'm an ex-Facebooker, so I worked there for a time. And one thing that is always really important to clients that I found is understanding their target audience. So knowing that we have so many more people on the platform, it's a great time to do target audience studies so that you can figure out like who's actually, following the brand. Maybe the brand may not have the right target audience, or there's a opportunity to bring more consumers into the fold. So this is a really great time to test and learn and to understand like who's actually the brand's target, and then run ads against those people, build lookalike audiences, and then you just continue to grow their actual core target audience from there. So that's just one tip I thought would could be really helpful, especially when you're looking at paid ads.
Nice. Anyone else? Any other questions? I'm scrolling, looking for
Can I just
okay, Graham? Yeah. Oh, Grace. Yes, Grace.
Hey, sorry, I raised my hand, but I didn't think, I don't know what happened. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for putting this together, sharing that valuable information. I am based in Chicago. I run a film production company. So I do a lot of shooting, editing, post-production, animation, things like that. And I also thought this would be a good time to reconnect with clients. I figured the best way to do that would be to just do some social media training, which is why I'm here. One of the things I did a couple days ago, I wanted to share with everybody because it's been extremely successful for me, is just the simple step of going and inviting your friends to your business page. I think my followers grew by like 400% just by reminding everybody that, hey, I'm here, I'm still doing business, doing what I can from home. And people's engagement, they're just like, they're all of a sudden, they're all there. And so I am starting now to do more planning on posts and just trying to navigate it from the inside, I guess, versus outside, which is, as a filmmaker, we do a lot of like networking and face-to-face time to meet our clients. So that's what I wanted to share. It was that little, like, just go do it. It's so easy to go be like, hey, go invite your friends to like your page.
Yes, Grace, totally agree with that. Graham, it's your turn.
Hey, everybody, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, just first wanted to say thank you so much for putting this on. This was great. It was the first type of Zoom meeting that I've ever done like this, and it was really informative, and this is awesome. But I just have a small tip. I think, Shari, earlier you mentioned something that Gary Vee had taught you. If anybody is running a small business, and everybody here probably is, Gary Vee's definitely a good resource to look into because he always is posting and has great tips and great insights. But something small that he taught me, I recently launched a nonprofit streetwear brand, and while my social media presence is pretty small right now, Gary Vee had a little tip of DMing at least 10 influencers or artists that you care about per day, just offering them your merch, offering them your product or your service. And while initially I thought this would never work because, a lot of the artists that I really love and enjoy, they have tons of followers and probably aren't just going to be looking at my message. But after doing this for just a couple of days, I've already gotten a bunch of feedback from artists with tens of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers who have agreed to now rep the brand. Just a simple message. And I was so mind blown. So setting that goal of just 10 people a day, it's kind of a very achievable goal. But having it was really helpful. And I'm excited to keep on doing it and see how many people we can get repping the brand. It's this Chicago, by the way, if anybody wants to check it out on Instagram.
Well,
Thanks. Put it in the chat box for us, Graham.
Oh, will do. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren just had a question. She said, is there a particular time of day that we should be posting? Morning, afternoon, evening?
Lauren, you actually can go to your analytics on your Instagram page and see what best works for your audience, because the people who are already on your page engaging, you can see in their insights what date and what time the best performing, the most active. I personally use it for my page, and it's always worked so well. There is also, and again, now everyone's at home. Everyone has a little different schedules, so it is a little bit different now. But usually, normally, it will be also based on your audience. If you're, for example, if your audience is a busy people who's, working in the morning, like mornings will be the best time to post for them, and like lunchtime, for example. But I recommend just to go to your Instagram insights and just check the timing where, when the audience is most engaging.
Yeah, and I just want to piggyback, like if you're not currently studying your analytics, you need to be doing that, because every business is truly unique. So you can go by what other people are doing, but at the end of the day, your business is unique to your customers, and you need to check your analytics to see what's resonating with them.
Lisa posted, how many hashtags are optimal? I usually use up to 30, but people say that's not great. But when I use less, I get no engagement.
the hashtag strategies, again, hashtag has their own strategies. And there is, maximum you can post 30 hashtags, but you need to post the right hashtags, not just the amount that matter, but actually matter what kind of hashtags, because there is a different hashtags based on reach. So if you can see like wellness or, social media hashtags, those are huge, big hashtags that has millions and millions of followers would not work for a smaller brand, for a smaller account that has a small amount of followers, just because it's impossible for a smaller account to reach that many people. So that's why being strategic with hashtags and creating there's different categories of hashtags that you can use. It's the smaller and very narrow hashtags related to your post and industry. There's a medium-sized hashtags, and there's those large hashtags. So if you are a smaller brand, or not a brand, if you're a smaller account with a small amount of followers, I highly recommend you to stick around with a medium-sized hashtags. Anything that over, up to 100,000, 200,000 posts on the hashtag, and go as narrow as you can. That way you can bring more engagement to your posts. But you can go up to 30 hashtags, but really make them more specific and related to actual posts. Because now Instagram also checking on the post. So if you, for example, if you post something, if you post a flower, but in your hashtags you're talking about a chair, it's a red flag for an Instagram, because you're not posting a relevant hashtag to the post. So I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, that's a great point. Make sure your hashtags are relevant, and also make sure you're not using like spammy or banned hashtags, because you could get shadow banned. So if you're not sure what that is, do a bit of research on Instagram banned hashtags.
Yeah. Any more questions? If not, what I'm going to do for the next 5 minutes is I will let you guys shout out your businesses, because normally I like to allow people to network and meet each other, but unfortunately I couldn't think of a cool networking game that I wanted. So what I think will be cool is, I know some of you guys who talked about your businesses or who asked the question mentioned your business, but if you want to shout your business out now, you might find a customer on here. Go for it.
I'll go first.
Go, Takara.
Hi again, I'm Takara. As I mentioned before, I was an ex-Facebooker. I've spent the last 10 years on the ad agency side, and so now I've started a company called Composite Group, and it's a digital consultancy focusing on strategy development, social media strategy, and just kind of a gamut of things in regards to just digital media from a paid perspective. So as Vanessa said, I'll be vulnerable and say I am looking for clients now. So if you're interested in any service or just talking, just to understand, how we can pivot your strategy during these times, I would not mind talking to you. So if you don't mind,
how
Vanessa,
can we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at tcarmack, and that's TCARMACK, or at Composite Group, which is spelled KOMPOSIT Group. And then I'll put my email address in the chat as well.
Awesome. And guys, also know I'm recording this, and everyone will have access to this at the end. So if you missed any notes or couldn't remember something, you all will have a replay of this. So that is the whole reason I am recording this. Anyone else wants to shout out their business?
Good evening, everyone. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Lauren.
Yes, my name is Lauren C. Martin, but I go by L. Woo. And I am the self-confident speaker. I am an author of 2 books, a talk show called The L Woo Show, and I am an entrepreneur. I actually have 3 businesses: L Woo Academy, which is my not-for-profit. I have L Woo Enterprises, which is my for-profit, and the L Woo Show. So Pretty much with my not-for-profit, we focus a lot on the community, and I'm really big on teaching young people about entrepreneurship, financial literacy, ownership, and self-confidence. And then with my for-profit, that's how I sell my merchandise, so my books, my t-shirts, my motivational CDs, because I can't drop those bars. I do positive music though, positive music. And then last but not least, with the El Woo show, man, come on the show. I am so down for promoting entrepreneurs. I love people, and I'm very passionate about people promoting their businesses, especially in the Black community. I definitely want to be a representation for us to get the word out about what we're doing and influence other people through our passions. I know a lot of people have business ideas, but they worry about the capital, or they don't have the self-confidence in their business or within themselves. So tune in this Saturday, because the El Woo show is actually going live. It's at 10 a.m.
And don't forget, we gotta get more people in, Lauren.
Oh yeah, right, because I'm long-winded. So I'm wrapping it up. Yeah, Vanessa knows me well. So the last thing is, the show is the show coming on live. To find out about me, go to El Woo Speaks on Instagram and the El Woo Show on Instagram, and you can find out how to sign up. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else? I see a few people making comments. Let's see. Let me scroll up a little bit. I don't know why you guys didn't want to shout it out. Let's see here. We have 40 Photographer. He's a Chicagoper. At 40 Photography. Oh, who's talking?
Oh, sorry about that. Were you in the middle? If you're in the middle of something, I can stop.
No, go for it. Nope, go for it, Max.
Cool. Well, I guess I film. First of all, I'm Max Williams. I film a lot of events in Chicago. Things as far as weddings, live music, just big events in general. And I focus mainly on live music. And I actually was fortunate enough to film one of Vanessa's events, which was great. Really enjoyed that. And so where was I going with that? Oh, so anyway, yeah, I film live music, and my Instagram is at Wilmax95. And if you follow me there, you can see my content. And I don't know.
Thanks, Max.
I don't really know where to go with that, but yeah, I film. I think you get the point of it.
Thank you. Miss Jasmine McGuire Smith, did you want to comment? Oh, sorry, Tracy.
No. If you call someone else, like, they can go.
No, I was calling out a name. You can go. You're ready to go. I was putting someone on the spot.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I'm making an adjustment here. I'm in here multitasking. So my name is Tracy, and I own an all-natural cosmetics brand called Freedom Naturally Beautiful Cosmetics. The products are natural with organic ingredients. There's no harmful synthetic dyes and colors and preservatives and things like that in it. And we also do some body care products, and we just started, we had launched something a little while ago called the Soul Soothing Spa Kit, and right now we're doing for the Corona, essential worker care gifts. And it's great. I went and did a video today, and someone hit me up like, great, I want 10. I'm like, yay, not just for me, but they work at a hospital, and they were saying how her co-workers felt unappreciated. They were exhausted and burnt out, and people were starting to call off from work just because they were tired. And so, you were talking about things that we can do, what kind of services is it that we can provide or give, because I'm not making much money off of the products themselves, but they are a great way to thank people who are working hard. And so, but going online and posting the post and doing stories and doing the videos were helpful. And so you guys, please go check it out. It's the website is www.freedom naturally beautiful. So yeah, that's it. Yay.
Thank you, Tracy. Anyone else?
Yeah, so I'll just one more time. I run the nonprofit streetwear brand. It's called This Chicago. That's this period Chicago. And if anybody wants, I saw in the chat some people were asking for the verbiage that I use when I DM artists or different pages. If people would like me to post an example of something that I've sent to an artist who has responded positively to the brand, I can definitely post that in there. But yeah, if anybody wants some cool company merch, it's individually embroidered, I got you. And yeah, excited to follow all of you guys and support your businesses.
Thank you guys so much. And I'm going to go. If anyone else doesn't want to go, anyone, Shanita, Davis.
Oh, can I add one more thing? I'm sorry, I meant to add this in earlier. Can I go ahead?
Sure.
Oh, cool. Hey, so I'm also the head of video for So Far Chicago. So I do all the So Far Chicago content, and we film a couple of those shows a month. So I'm always posting stuff on behalf of So Far, and I guess that's the stem of where I work with other artists from So Far. So just wanted to add that in there, and I put my social media over here in the comments. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow everybody else in there. Also, Vanessa, can I add in something earlier? It was something you were talking about I wanted to add on to.
Sure.
Okay. One thing, so going back to talking about what's helped me on social media is, Vanessa, you actually touched on this, was commenting on people's posts. I think it's useful to comment on a post that is, it's current, someone's just posting it, but if you go back on their page and comment on other posts from the past too, it's still like quote unquote relevant in my opinion. But I think if you comment on a couple different posts and you like them and stuff, your social media comes up more and people are more likely to like notice you. And this may have been touched on. I was jumped out for a few seconds, but I just wanted to throw that in there in case it was useful to anybody.
Yeah, very useful. Well, everyone else, I would say look into the chat because I see a lot of people are posting their businesses in there. They were a little bit too shy to speak out loud. So please look in the chat and check out your business. I'm going to wrap this up, unfortunately. Shari and Elena, did you guys have any comments before I wrap up?
I also want to add on to that. I'm offering discounted services right now for the audit, for your Instagram audit and the social media strategies for your brand. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you, guide you, and work with you. DM me on Instagram, Elena Soboleva.es. Yeah, I'm happy to help support you. I have as much as I can.
And with that being said, Shari, do you have anything?
Yes, thank you for asking me to do this, Vanessa. This is amazing. It was so good to hear about businesses and all of that. I put my Instagram in the box with the disclaimer that it's trash because I spend little to no time on my own Instagram. So I'm going to take my own advice today and Elena's advice and everybody else's advice and work on getting my Instagram back up to par. And also feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Shari Neal Williams. I think I got one request from Takara. I'll be messaging you. Also shout out to my cousin Crystal who joined. So yeah, that's all I got.
Hey, cousin Crystal. Graham, I see you have a question. Make it real quick.
I just realized my hand was raised. I'm all good.
Okay,
Thank you
cool.
so much.
So I'm going to wrap up and say, first of all, before I wrap up, real quick, what I want you guys to do is, that's left, feel free to take a picture and tag me, Shari, and Elena on that, and and whoever else you want to tag, because we love it, and it helps us, and so if you're willing to do that, please feel free to take a screenshot or take a picture of your screen and post it on Instagram, and I'll repost it and follow all of you guys back. My handle is @agencyabron, and that's in the chat, @agencyabron. And last but not least, as I wrap this up, I am also giving you guys a thank you. As a thank you, I am offering everyone that signed up for this presentation $25 for a PR coaching session. So normally I charge $175 an hour for a coaching session. But this time I am going to give it to you guys only. So don't share it with your friends. Like when you book for it, I'm going to check the list. So $25 for all of you guys only. And basically this offer is valid between now and May 14th. I will send you guys directions on how to redeem that. So look out in your inbox tomorrow, or you can just message me directly from the Eventbrite messages that you got. But $25, you must redeem, you must purchase by April 14th, and you must redeem no later than August 14th. Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to capture any notes that you want from the chat box, because I see everyone's chatting. But without further ado, I would say good night and have a safe and restful evening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.